Hey, hey, here we go. It is the last 2 days of human tuning. This Medusa was framed. My name is Joyce. Thank you for joining me as I'm banging things around and making noise. We're not going to be using any tuning forks anymore for this last bit. We're just going to be reading about concepts like resonance and dissonance. Learning to identify, understand, and honor dissonance leads to new levels of living and wellness. Dissonance means without sonic alignment or to beat against. Our first reaction to dissonances, whether in music or life, are to label them undesirable, something to be avoided. When Igor Stravinsky premiered The Rite of Spring, many listeners rioted. They cited the horrible dissonance of the music as the cause. A group of doctors tried to sue Stravinsky for damaging people's ears. Today, many find the dissonances in The Rite of Spring to be harmonious. During the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church determined what musical tones and intervals were spiritual. New musical sounds were usually introduced through heresy and thought to be work of the devil. As hard as it is to believe, many people were executed and tortured for playing the wrong note. There is in the full 9 solfeggio a frequency known as the devil's frequency. Go to the piano keyboard and play C, and then play the octave of C and G. If you lived in the Dark Ages, you would have been on your way to being a musical star. Now play C and C, followed by C and F sharp. Uh-oh, you made a fatal mistake. You are now on your way to being burned at the stake or worse. C and F sharp were considered to be the interval of the devil. I just said that. I just said that. Our life experiences of dissonance vary greatly. Oh, sorry, I just had ice cream and it's making me sleepy. A commonly used word for dissonance is stress. Dr. Hans Selye defines stress as adaptation to change. Those that resist change will perceive stress as distress. Those who accept change may experience the same stress as euphoria or eustress. In other words, what's distress to one person may be euphoria to another. This may explain from a scientific perspective why the dissonances of music composition, like Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, may be terrible for one person and beautiful for another. The process of a child learning to swing illustrates the principle of dissonance as a necessary component to acquiring a new skill. The child learns to pull on the swing at just the right time through hundreds of misses. Because missed pulls are out of alignment with the desired feeling of swinging, they are perceived by the child as frustrating. How can I learn to swing if I keep pulling and nothing happens? Eventually, by watching other children, getting hands-on help from parents, and achieving many, many successes, the child begins to internalize a right feeling of swinging. The misses contrasted to the right feeling may ironically lead to increasing states of dissonance. When we have no idea of the right way, the wrong way is acceptable. When we have no idea of the right way, the wrong way is acceptable. When we experience the right way, the wrong way becomes even more dissonant. One day something happens, a right movement, an accident, or somebody says something that makes sense, and suddenly the child knows how to swing. He can pull on the swing again and again at just the right moment. From this moment on, the child knows how to swing for the rest of his life. The Nobel Prize-winning physicist, Dr. Ayla Prigioni, discovered the importance of dissonance when investigating chemical symptoms. He termed his discoveries order from chaos. Prigioni proved that for a system to change and go into a higher state of functioning, it must first pass through a state of disruption or chaos. The sonic term for chaos is dissonance. Prigioni points out the crucial role dissonance plays in living systems evolving into higher states of order. We're all kind of going through a lot of dissonance right now, aren't we? Because it's part of systems evolving into a higher state of order. We all have headaches, our ears are ringing, we feel, there's all kind of stuff going on, right? We're evolving. You're not sick. You're evolving. Living systems evolving into a higher level of order. That's what's going on now. Even if you have a fever, you're not sick. You're evolving. Even if you have all the COVID symptoms, you're not sick. You're evolving. He discovered that over time, all living systems, oh my gosh, dispose more and more energy caused by fluctuations or dissonance inherent within the system. As time passes, those dissonances increase in intensity, causing the system to move further and further from equilibrium. Soon, everything begins to wobble. The wobbling increases until all pre-existing order within the system shatters, causing the system to leap into chaos. I can't wait! I can't wait for everything to wobble and everything to fall into chaos. Give me the moon, give me the death card, give me the 10 of swords, give me the 10 of wands. Let's do this. Let everything fall apart. I'm ready. Many people are ready. Prigioni terms the precise moment a system goes from order to chaos a bifurcative point. As a system approaches bifurcation, it only takes a very small and seemingly inconsequential event to create chaos. From chaos, the system reorganizes itself into a new system functioning at a higher level resonance. Whether the resonance is higher or lower level than the original system is determined by what mathematicians call strange attractors. Strange attractors can be visualized as seeds of the new order sown from the old order. For example, a child learning to swing builds attractors through many successes, modeling other children and positive encouragement. When the old order falls apart, the new order reforms around the vibration of these experiences. The pictures on the next page are computer-generated images of chaos. They are based on the fractal mathematical equations of Benoit Maldenbro. When looking at the pictures, visualize them as a system of the moment of bifurcation. They are the highest intensity of dissonance before a system transforms into a new state of resonance. Meditating on these images reveals the dissonance has its own special beauty. This is another example of the always changing notions of what is or is not dissonance in music as well as life. When the listener surrenders to dissonance, he or she is transformed into a new order. We must learn to listen to and appreciate dissonance in our lives. For example, an alarm clock is dissonant to our sleeping self. However, to our waking self, the alarm clock is a sound we created to remind us to wake up. Isn't that a beautiful example? We're having rugs pulled out from under us. Depending on how aware you are of and in touch with what's going on, factors into how many rugs you feel are being pulled out from under you. I don't feel like anything's being pulled out from under me. I'm ready for the whole goddamn thing to bottom out. I would appreciate it. But that example of The alarm clock is dissonant to the sleeping state. To the waking state, it's just another sound we identify. Where are you in all of this? Are you just identifying the sounds as what they are? Or are you rocked by things because you're asleep? Oftentimes, we forget that it is our waking self that set the alarm. Duh! The alarm annoys us. We get angry. Maybe we throw our alarm clock across the room. When we surrender to the message, we awake and remember, today I got up early to begin my vacation. Thank goodness for the alarm, or I would have missed my plane. From a sound healing perspective, the experiences of dissonance are our inner alarm system. When an alarm goes off, something is going to change, whether we think we are going to like it or not. The more we resist it, the more the intensity or dissonance increases in your life. So here are some examples of dissonance. Look at, they're all Fibonacci's, and yet they are bifurcations of dissonance because something is changing, something is growing. You see, they aren't closed systems like mandalas. They are bifurcations, spiraling in new organic processes. Paisleys. We must learn to appreciate dissonance and actively listen to our inner alarms. The following dissonance ear training is to help us tune our alarms and wake up. Number 1, not quite right feeling. We recognize a vague feeling of discomfort, or our inner voice whispers a warning. Oftentimes our body slightly tightens. Sometimes we may perceive a subtle feeling of pulling away. The intensity of the alarm is low enough to easily overlook or dismiss. It is the kind of message that we recognize in hindsight and say, I had a feeling. Minor problem. We have progressed beyond the not quite right feeling and can consciously, if only for a moment, identify the source of the irritation. A friend or relative doesn't clean up after themselves in the house and we don't say anything. It's even uncomfortable for us to do their cleaning. However, it's a small problem. The discomfort soon leaves. Oftentimes we'll tell ourselves a story. It's okay. He'll be leaving in a few days. He's such a good person. Is it worth it to do these things for him just to have him here? Yeah, it's worth it. Although we may come to believe our stories, which in psychological terms is the beginning of denial, our bodies always tighten when faced with a minor problem. These are all degrees of dissonance, the beginnings of Fibonacci and bifurcation and change. Major problem. The source of irritation is clear, and in our consciousness for long periods of time, it is increasingly difficult to tell ourselves stories. We know something is wrong and there's a problem. The person went from occasionally throwing something on the floor, leaving papers tracking in dirt, to overstaying his welcome, playing the stereo late at night, and even our neighbors are complaining. However, it's still possible to somehow pull off our problem. We tell ourselves more stories. If I'm nicer, maybe he'll just go away. It's not his fault. He had a hard childhood. Maybe his behavior has something to do with me. At this level of dissonance, everyone knows we have a problem except us. When we finally do something about it, everyone is relieved. When we keep denying, then the problem goes to a higher level of dissonance. I'm going to read this last thing on dissonance, and then that's all I'm going to read for tonight, because ice cream made me so sleepy I can't stop yawning. So crisis level. The dissonance is loud and screeching. We can't get away from it. It's with us everywhere we go. Our whole universe seems to be shaking and falling apart. In psychotherapeutic language, we are bottoming out, and there is no place left to go but up. We have to face the dissonance. Many people tell stories of reaching the bottom and finding a new life. I learned a long time ago not to judge people at the bottom. Remember, he was a psychiatrist at Bellevue, of all places. When working at Bellevue Psychiatric Hospital, okay, I was called a therapist to a flop house on the Bowery. We were trying to extend our services in the community and help people before they reach the hospitalization stage. On one occasion, I walked into a small, dirty room that smelled of human waste with cockroaches and running from wall to wall. In the room, there was a man covered with spit lying on a dirty bed and a priest sitting next to him preparing to give last rites. I was disgusted that I should be called to such a place and angry with this man for letting his life depreciate to such a low level. For some reason, though, I stayed. As the priest gave the last rites, the man on the bed opened his eyes and said, "I saw Jesus." Suddenly, he began to glow. I actually felt the vibration in the room increase. As I looked at the dying man, he suddenly became soft and radiant. I could feel his energy enveloping the room. I felt as though I was blessed and showered with grace. All of this lasted just a few minutes by the clock, and an eternity from my inner time perspective. When he exhaled his last breath, this filthy, disgusting drunk had transformed into one of the most spiritual teachers of my life. He taught me that a crisis can be an opportunity for extraordinary growth, and that I should be very humble in my judgments for other people's life dissonances. That's it. Because that's it. I mean, that's it. There's 3 more pages left. So tomorrow, we'll finish the book. And again, I'm going to say that for anybody who's interested, when I get new tarot cards, I get rid of old tarot cards. And so I am passing these along to anybody that wants them for the price of postage. So if you just go ahead and you know, buy me 2 coffees, which is $10. I think one of those first class package things is like $8. Then oh, that doesn't go there. No, that goes in here. Then you can just have what you want. Just pay me for postage. That's all. So I just added this after the fact. This is a basic Rider-Waite, but it's more luminous, and this is called the Radiant Rider-Waite. I have to go over across the room and get the box, but this one's up for grabs. You've seen me use that. You've also seen me use this. I found the book. This is the Mystical Kipper. There's lots of information about how to use Kipper cards online. Tons and tons and tons. What I love about Kipper and Lenormand is that they're small. So you can carry them with you. You can put them in your backpack or whatever, and they're small and they're handy. I actually keep a Kipper deck in my car in the cup holder. This is the White Light Oracle. It does not have a book. I have been calling it the White Wolf Oracle because of the back. It's a very beautiful oracle deck. It's just too pretty for me. Very, very feminine, pretty things piss me off. Oracle, not tarot. This is the Bicycle Rider-Waite. So it's basically Rider-Waite, but it's the shape of regular bicycle playing cards. That's the only difference. It's like bicycle playing cards. You've seen me read with this many, many times. This is the Dulac Tarot, and I actually bought this tarot deck for that cover photo, which is a painting by Howard Pyle. Howard Pyle was the teacher of N.C. Wyeth, who was the father of Andrew Wyeth. So if you know anything about American art, then you know who Andrew Wyeth is. So that's the man who taught Andrew Wyeth how to draw and paint. But this is a beautiful deck. It's just sometimes too much gets on my nerves. And as beautiful as this deck is, it's too busy for me. But that's why I bought it. And I also don't like the shape of the cards. I like cards that are a little more square. I love these. And then this is the Bosch Tarot, which based on the paintings of Hieronymus Bosch from the 1400s. You love his work or you don't. He is not a middle kind of guy. And you've seen me use those too. So these are all available for anybody that wants them. Just buy me 2 coffees and I'll mail them to you. Just pay me for postage. You can just drop a note in the comments below if you want any of these. And there is a box for these. We'll get them. Okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.